Now on 12, a tragic day in Parkchester after an explosion at a substation kills an AMTRAK worker and injures 2 others. Plus, a Brooklyn man and retired NYPD officer is fighting for life, but he's doing it with the help of his brothers and sisters in blue. And a big and bright tradition is back and better than ever as we take you to the annual Christmas tree lighting in GHERIG PLAZA. Hello and thank you for joining us here on News 12 The Bronx. I'm Dave Roush. AMTRAK is investigating a deadly incident that killed one of its employees and injured 2 others. Falcon 12 was over the scene in Parkchester at a substation right near the AMTRAK rail line. Police say around 11 Thursday morning, an AMTRAK employee was doing electrical work on a line that was still electrified, which caused an explosion and killed that worker. AMTRAK says 2 other employees were hurt in the incident. That caused hours of delays for AMTRAK trains today and into this evening. People in Parkchester say that they saw a thick black plume of smoke and flames after it all happened. And a mom tells us she didn't know anything happened until afterwards, and that made her nervous.
They're going to have operations like this. Maybe they should let the neighborhood know, just in case of these incidents like this. It was very frightening.
And we're told a representative from the Occupational Health and Safety Administration did respond to the incident as well. Well, a Brooklyn man and retired NYPD officer is fighting for life, but he's not doing it alone. News 12 The Bronx reporter Katie Lusso explains from New York City Health and Hospital's Coney Island in Brooklyn. Thank you, Katie. The NYPD needs your help finding 2 men wanted for robbing a cell phone store in Riverdale. Police say the men in this video entered the T-Mobile store on Riverdale Avenue just after 7 on Tuesday night. We're told one of the suspects told people in that store not to move or call anyone as he placed his right hand in his pocket, possibly trying to simulate a gun. The other man, we're told, used a cutting tool to remove 8 cell phones from their display cases before both of them ran off. Police also on the hunt for this man seen in surveillance video outside of a SOUNDVIEW grocery store. Police say on Tuesday the man entered 1245 East 172nd Street and proceeded to take out a gun. He allegedly hit a 42-year-old employee on the head. Then the suspect took almost $600 and that employee's iPhone. And a shocking and messy attack to tell you about now. Police say it happened to one woman in West Farms. Cops say they're looking for this woman, identified as Sashu Lawson. They say she threw feces and urine at a 46-year-old victim while she was sitting in her car on Crows Avenue back in July. And of course, anyone with information on any of these cases is asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 1-800-577-TIPS. And remember, all calls remain confidential. Mayor Bill de Blasio, NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea, and other officials broke down crime statistics for the city on Thursday. The group had a press conference in the Bronx at the new Settlement Community Center. First, the mayor touched on Commissioner Shea's plan to, quote, prevent crimes before they even begin. However, de Blasio acknowledged there have been some struggles in keeping crime down over the last few weeks. The chief of crime strategies says crime is mostly down for the year, but there's still work to be done based on their data.
52% of our murder victims were shot, 20% were victims of domestic violence, 15% were in housing, and at least 26% were gang-related.
Press conference, the chief of crime strategies also shared that this was the 3rd month in a row that the city saw a decline in the number of shootings. Tragedy in Mount Hope on Thursday after a man is found dead outside of an apartment building. Police say Gerardo Villano was found unconscious and unresponsive in front of the building on the Grand Concourse at around 5 in the morning. Right now, it is unclear how Villano died, but cops say it appears as though he may have fell from a part of that building. Lawmakers are helping the drivers who help Bronxites get around stay behind the wheel. Council member Ydanis Rodriguez is calling on the Taxi and Limousine Commission to work with livery drivers by eliminating the driver's debt because of penalties and allowing them to operate in more areas. This follows a cap on the number of for-hire vehicles allowed in the city each year, which started in August of last year. Rodriguez explained his plan.
To create a libre basis and corporate black card task force to let the drivers reaffiliated with those bases to pick up in the streets above 96th Street, and third, to give a forgiveness of the debt that those drivers have pending right now.
Companies like Uber and Lyft are defending themselves, saying livery drivers can work for them too. But some livery companies believe that Uber and Lyft are a part of the problem. They claim drivers wind up not fully committing to the livery service when they drive for Uber. Well, a long-awaited safety report from Uber revealing more than 3,000 sex assaults happened during rides in the United States last year alone. Now, that number includes more than 200 rape allegations. Critics have claimed Uber and other ride-hailing services haven't done enough to protect their riders. This is the first time Uber released a safety report. The company saying that hiding the information was not making anyone safer. For some perspective, though, the company says that on average, there were 3.1 million Uber trips every day in the United States last year. Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing on Thursday the House is moving forward to draft articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. But some lawmakers are slamming that move. Here's what Speaker Pelosi said.
Our democracy is what is at stake. The president leaves us no choice but to act because he is trying to corrupt, once again, the election for his own benefit. The president has engaged in abuse of power, undermining our national security and jeopardizing the integrity of our elections.
This process has been hijacked. I think the most radical people in the country are driving the impeachment process.
Senator Lindsey Graham added about Pelosi, quote, either she gets on the train or she's going to get run over by it, end quote. The president continues to deny any wrongdoing. He tweeted that if Democrats are going to impeach him, he wants them to do it now and fast so he can get on to a Senate trial. Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. hosting the borough's annual Christmas tree lighting Thursday night at GHERIG Plaza near the Grand Concourse. This is a tradition that has been taking place for many years outside the Bronx County Courthouse. There was a performance by the Renaissance High School Varsity Voices, getting everyone into the holiday spirit. Afterwards, hundreds of children got to participate in special holiday festivities. They made their way inside Borough Hall to the Winter Wonderland, where they met Mr. and Mrs. Claus. They also received free gifts, hot chocolate, and cookies. Borough President Diaz says everyone may anticipate a gift from Santa this time of year, but that we should also work on giving back.
Looking at a next-door neighbor, perhaps maybe a senior citizen or another kid in school who, while maybe times aren't great for you and your family, may have it a little tougher than you, and do something nice for them. That's the real essence. That's the real spirit of the season. That's what we want to convey to all of our children here in the Bronx.
Diaz adding, this is the way they kick off the holiday season here in the borough each and every year.